Okay, let's start from here. In the interaction between the light and material could be divided into the two types. So one is the photo-induced reactions, meaning that when the light is illuminated to some sample systems, the reaction proceeded, and then another species is generated. So it's a irreversible reaction. But even without this irreversible reaction, the light can interact with materials because light is made of the electromagnetic wave, and material molecules is covered by the electron cloud. So electron cloud and electromagnetic field has some level of the interaction. And in the spectroscopy, where the material information is obtained by the interaction between the light and material, and many analytical equipment actually use this interaction for detection of chemicals. Here are some of the examples, and probably you may not notice this, but here the most familiar one is the UV visible absorption spectrum. Right? So in this method, UV light or visible light or infrared light is used for the light absorption of the chemicals, and then we can know the chemical species. And also chromatography, gas chromatography or liquid chromatography, and sometimes or many times in the liquid chromatography, for the detection of chemicals, UV absorption of the molecule is used. And then in the XRD, X-ray diffraction, which is used for studying the structure of crystal, and X-ray is used for the detection of the diffraction due to the crystal structure. And also NMR, which is very frequently used in the chemistry field to determine the molecular structure. In this case, nucleus spin is split by magnet, and then two energy levels are formed. And for a detection of the splitting of the energy level is actually detected by the absorption of the radio wave, which is the one of the light in the long wavelength range. And also ESR, electron spin resonance. Here the radicals, usually radical species is detected, and energy splitting of the radical by magnet is detected by the microwave absorption. So there are many, actually in many analytical equipment, we use spectroscopy, meaning the light interaction with materials. So this course mostly covers the ultraviolet and visible light interaction with chemical species. And but as you see that in the wavelength region is very broad, and many different type of electromagnetic waves is known, such as starting from, here's a chart for the categorized by wavelengths, and for the longer wavelengths we use electric wave, and then microwave, which is used for frequently using for cooking, and far infrared and infrared light absorption is used for chemical species, right? And near infrared and visible light and ultraviolet is in this range. And for the shorter wavelength range is X-ray and gamma ray, and they have higher energy. And so what we are going to study is only this range. So this small range in the wavelengths. However, this range is most important wavelength range in spite of this kind of small range, because you could see here. So why is this visible light is so important? The answer is simple, because this whole living system, including human beings, has developed by using this sunlight. And in the sunlight, this visible and near infrared region is included in this sunlight. That's why we are going to study frequently this sunlight. And let me see some of the key examples for the photochemical reactions. So one is obviously photosynthesis in the plant, right? So the plant or leaves have the color of green, which is made of the molecules called the chlorophyll. So chlorophyll can absorb many different wavelengths region of the sunlight, could induce the photocatalytic reaction, right? No, photosynthetic reaction. And the other is eyesight. You can see the color, right? And this visible is defined by actually human beings, because we could detect this wavelength region, because sunlight is quite important in terms of energy for human beings. And for the detection of the sunlight, we use the chemical reaction inside the eye. And maybe chemistry students are familiar with isomerization reaction. So this is a cis-trans isomerization is induced by light, and the molecules it's the photoresponsive protein called rhodopsin. And also you may care for sunburn on your skin. During the sunburn process, you have a melanin dye on the skin, which is the origin of the coloring of your dye of your skin. Right? And also many photolysis or photodegradation processes are well known in the photochemical reactions. And here are some list of the application light in the industry. So in the daily items, in the cosmetics, as I mentioned, now sunscreen is used for protecting the sunburn, right? In this material, actually the various inorganic materials such as TiO2 and then zinc oxide is used. And in the painting, photocurable paint is used, and meaning that paint must be stable on the surface. To make it solid, we use a photochemical reaction, which is here the photopolymerization reaction. And in the old picture, we use black and white photography. You've never seen it recently, but this black coloring is possible by using the photochemical reaction of the silver. Silver nanoparticle is formed. And in the medical and industrial applications, one of the application is called photodynamic therapy, where some reactive chemicals are collected at the site of the cancer cells, and then light is illuminated to induce the photochemical reaction to kill the cancer cells. And in the environment, we use a photocatalyst for cleanup of the surface by using the sunlight energy. And also in the solar cells or photovoltaics, that we are trying to capture more energy from the sunlight energy. In the synthesis of chemicals, we use polymers, plastics, right? And in this application, we use a polymerization and adhesive, paint, or printing ink. They use the photo-induced polymerization reaction, where the radical species are involved in the photo reaction. And also in the data recording process, we use an optical memory disk. And you may know that, possibly you know the Blu-ray, where the blue light is used for recording the information. So in the daily life, we use various photochemical reactions in the processes. Okay, so here, that's it for about the introduction of the spectroscopy and photochemistry.